Hey, it's the Chief, bonding with board games here with Judd Vance.
Ham tag!
Ham tag. All right, we're not doing a ham tag segment tonight. However, Judd didn't plan on doing this, but he did this real cool geek list on BGG. When did you put this geek list out?
November. The whole month I updated it every day.
All right, and what was it?
I had planned this like in February or something. 30 days, 30 solitaire games. My friend Rob, he's the designer of Galaxy Command, if you ever look him up, he had done something. He can't go to BGG Con because he's a professor and he can't take the week before Thanksgiving and Thanksgiving off because we're out of school. So he doesn't get to go to BGG Con. His user ID is Bardius. So he created something called Bardius Con, where he played all solitaire games. And I thought that's pretty fun. And he did like 4 or 5 games, a lot of simple things in there. And I thought, I wasn't going last year, so I thought, I'll do the same thing. Well, then I started looking at my games, and I had, I think it was 26 unique solo games. And I thought, whoa, okay, I've got a month. I'm not playing 26 in a week. So I thought, I'll do it. And then I had a few other Starfleet Battles that have a solitaire variant. And then I traded for a couple, kicked a couple off. And by the time I was done, I think I had 28 unique solitaire games. Since then, I'm up to 30 if I ever try it again.
But his wife says he won't try it.
I won't try it again. I'll talk about that later.
So down in the show notes, there's going to be a link. I'll put a link down there. So just look down there, and there'll be a link you can go to. It won't probably be a hot link or something, but I'll put it in there, cut and paste it in, and you can go see it on BGG. What did you call your geek list?
Bardius Con 20, I think I called it Bardius Con 2015, the convention for the rest of us.
Now I'm Bart, but obviously it's his name. How does he spell that?
Oh, Barteaus.
Perfect. All right.
Or just look under Galaxy Command and click the designer's name. But yeah, he places it off his last name and gives it a very Roman sounding name and has a Roman SPQR avatar.
Now we're also on kind of the new set. Now this is really where I film Scotch Test Dummies, my Scotch show for those that haven't seen it. And I've been filming some stuff here, so some of you guys have seen it if you've been watching some of the other bonding with board game stuff. Eventually we're gonna have a table over there and a wall of games is visible to Judd and I now, but we're just using this impromptu because it's all set up and everything. I'm actually going to pull out of here, but I wanted him to explain this list, kind of the order he went through, because he was telling me, I'm like, man, you got to put this on film, get some more out of this. And then his wife said, yeah, you better get it on film because he's not going to be doing it again, probably until you're retired almost, I would imagine.
Yeah.
Because part of this deal, and then I'll get off camera so you can go through the list, you would literally play the game through to completion. Mm-hmm. So it's not like you'd go, oh, it's 1 in the morning, I'm going to stop now. You would finish the game, win, lose, draw. Then you would type up your addition to the geek list that night. Yeah.
So if you look at the timestamp on them, most of them are after 1 in the morning. I have a daytime job. I was getting by on coffee and cat naps. I'm not a coffee drinker. I hate the stuff. It was a necessity. And I was exhausted that month. And you're thinking, hey, the weekend, play your big games in the weekend. K-State plays. Tyler Lockett, if you're watching this, you're awesome, man. Yeah, like he's watching it. K-State played all 4 weeks. They played KU on them. You think I'm going to miss that thing? No way. So, my Saturday afternoons were pretty much shot. I was putting up Christmas decorations. I was cooking up ribs and pulled pork and turkey in the smoker one day on one of my off days from work. So I had a lot of irons in the fire. November's not the best month to try that trick.
There you go. All right, I'm going to step off and I'll let you go through your list and kind of explain how these went. The whole idea is rapid fire. So I'll just let you run through them.
Okay, first game I loaded up was Ottoman Sunset, Victory Point Games. I lost on the 11th card of the game. I had won my previous 2, thought, hey, this is going to be easy. I got the formula down for this game. So I started going through and doing all my stuff. Wasn't really protecting the straights. Went right up and took me out. If you're familiar with that game. Did not have my defenses. Okay, second game I played was Hornet Leader. I decided to get a good full game. I had messed around with it. I thought it was always hard until I learned the power of suppression weapons. Played a short scenario in Iraq from the Navy, flew off of carriers in that. Did a 3-mission run. That's a short scenario. I got a good rating on the thing. I think it'd be pretty hard to get much better, but I haven't played it enough. Maybe good players can get really good. But I got a good on it, so I didn't totally fail. Third game I played, Starfleet Battles. I had a game. I was kind of a little tired that night. Thought I need an easy game. Starfleet Battles. It is my gateway game. The rules are hard-coded in my DNA. I barely had to look at that rule book, and it's in a 3-ring binder for those of you SFB players. Had my old Commander's edition. I played from Captain's Log number 2, The Combining of Aristas was the name of the scenario. Pretty cool, 4 pieces of monster that are chasing your frigate that has to drop off supplies at 2 planets. If it's chasing your frigate, if they get close to each other, they combine and like double, triple, quadruple their strength. Wicked scenario, pretty tough. I blew the monster up. I kept using that frigate to pull him right from me, boom. But I never dropped the supplies off, so Starfleet thought I was a trigger-happy captain and wasn't too happy with me. So I kind of got a fair victory, but they weren't real happy. 4th game, Hero of Weehawken. It was a new game I had traded for that month. It is a victory point game. Looks like a State of Siege, but it's really not. It has a little influence, but not much. It's about Aaron Burr after the duel with Hamilton, when he went off to the west and they weren't sure what he was up to. They thought he was up to a whole lot of no good, him and I think it's James Wilkinson. And it's really, you're trying to gather clues, and I call it glorified Clue, except it's not like lame. It's really cool. And you know, once you figure out who's behind it, then you go to trial. And how well have you been gathering trial cards? Well, I got that sucker, life imprisonment. Yeah, take that. So awesome victory. First game, I tend to play them wrong, so next time I may not do so well once. Okay, the 5th game was Vietnam Solitaire, White Dog Games. Very cool, it says 1 hour, I think about an hour and a half. Solitaire system, very, very clever. I pulled out a marginal victory. I had went through Vietnamization and they were holding on. I'm not sure I didn't get a rule wrong because there was an awful lot of the other side in the very top up there near the border, that first segment, and I didn't see a way that they ever move out of it. So yeah, I just was willing to let them have that section all the time. I think I told 3 of the 5 sections each turn. I was more than happy to let them have it there. So I need to study that more because there's a follow-up game I'm going to cover on this, on the American Revolution, and it has a system. So I won, but I'm not sure the game, I don't know if the game had a flaw or if I played it wrong. 6th game, Soviet Dawn. Victory point game, State of Siege. I lost on the 3rd card of the game. I think I rolled the dice 8 times, 50%, missed them all. 0 for 8. How's that for epic fail? I need a 50% out of it, so I should have calculated the odds of what that was. Never got the political will up. One of the armies moved on to one of the red spots that knock your political will down, game over. 3rd card. I was like, wow, I lost Pandemic on the 1st turn of the game one time. That's the only bigger fail I've ever had in life, in a game at least. Galaxy Command was number 7. That's my friend Rob, who's behind Bardius Con. He designed this pretty cool solitaire sci-fi game. I got 14 victory points in it, which not bad. Now I kind of look at it, it's like, really, dude? Because I'm a lot better at that game now than I was then, but I'll take it. I also had this little bad die roll at the beginning. It kind of slowed my roll down. 8th game, Corsair Leader, print and play game I had got on one of the pay it forward list. It's like Hornet Leader, Phantom Leader. It's based on World War II. My very favorite plane, the Corsair. It's a lot simpler, a lot less weapons. You think about it, you're not going to have all those fancy Sidewinder missiles and all this stuff. You pretty much got rockets, bombs, and machine guns. Machine guns are a lot more effective. Cool game. I did a small three mission the smallest scenario you can. I got another good victory. It's not nearly as detailed as Hornet Leader, so if you're into that, I really liked it because I just love the Corsair, so the theme was a big hit with me. Intruder number 9, Task Force Games, old pocket game. If you were familiar with that, the guys that made Starfleet Battles, it is what's that movie called? Alien, Sigourney Weaver. It's basically that in a little Ziploc bag. I won the game. I killed the monster. I found him pretty early, which is to my benefit, but he did kill 3 of my crew members. But I did score the victory on there. Yeah. Let's see. The next one, Field Commander Rommel. I played the 1940 France. I think it's Case Yellow is what they call it. Steamrolled over it. Quite a bit easier to get through that one than say the one where you're in North Africa, because I never really threatened Alexandria at all in that one. But I played this one, got 13 victory points. Funny thing was, I think I put in my action report was Le Havre was like my next to last base, and I said I ran into a bunch of Uragamers and crushed them because they weren't ready for dice. Okay, number 11, We Must Tell the Emperor, Victory Point Games, one of the 2 out of print Victory Point games. and it's one of my very favorites in the whole State of Siege. It's not the kind where you're going to lose on the third card. You're going to get through pretty deep in that game because it's very historical. But the historical chrome, big hit with me because I love that topic, World War II Pacific. I got to the last card when I lost the game. I kept having those firebombing cards. I think they reshuffle back into the deck. They just kept getting in there, and that was the last card, and they finally got me. So almost had it. The next game was a new one I had got that month, Keep Up the Fire by Victory Point Games. Played to it, I was learning the game. That's the problem with this, I'll talk about in a second, was I was learning the game and I wasn't learning it well. I thought, you got these guys in these walls shooting at it covers the, oh shoot, I forget what they call that, the Boxer Rebellion. I kept having all these forces coming at me, and you guys can move around in the walls because some can hit long range, some hit close range, and I thought you could only move if there was an open spot. I didn't realize you get to reshuffle them, so I couldn't even get to the there's 2 epochs in that, and I couldn't even get to the second epoch. Played better since then, but I still have yet to beat that game. 13th one, First Team Vietnam. This is one of the games that made the whole month worthwhile. I've had this game. It's an old 1986 game. It's solitaire, and of course they're all solitaire. I was trying to remember, it was maybe Command Magazine. I don't think it's Command. I forget who it was. It's not S&T. Anyway, I had struggled with the game because the rules just blow. I mean, that's about all there is to it. They're really horrible. I gave up on the game in earlier frustration. I tried it on a different day, but I finally got it figured out. I beat actually I pulled to a draw. I got the North Vietnamese Army had -7 VPs. But I'm in a couple places kind of not real clear on the rules, and you don't get any designer support in a game like that old and that obscure. So one of my goals is to rewrite that rule book, and I want to try out the way I think it's supposed to be played, and it would have made life even tougher on me. It's a pretty cool game because you're the Americans. It covers Operation Silver Bayonet, which GMT's made a game on it, 2 players. But it's really brilliant because it doesn't feel like you're gaming the artificial system. I mean, they hit you, they get back in the jungles. And it's very frustrating to try to fight them. You have all this firepower, but it's hard to get them, and your resources are limited. Next game, 14, Blackbeard, the old Richard Berg Avalon Hill game. Love that game. One of my favorite games of the year, probably one of my top 3 or 4 games I discovered that year. Got it on a pay it forward, took a chance, loved the thing. Not really a game I'd recommend for like 4 players because I think there's too much downtime, but works great 2 or solitaire. My guy, Captain Blood, he's the only mythical pirate in the game. He won. I won, not because I got the most booty. Booty. Sorry, it's Beastie Boys. I keep doing that every time I say that word. Anyway, I got it because all the other pirates irked off their crews and was walking the plank or died or something. So the other 2 non-playing players get 2 pirates. And I was drawing all the King's Commissioners and sicking them on them, and they were getting blown up pretty well in the battles. So anyways, so I pulled that one off. Next one I played was the Alamo, Victory Point game, probably the easiest of the whole State of Siege series. I haven't played Israeli Independence. Played it, got crushed, tough game. I think that, even more than Keep Up the Fire, is the toughest State of Siege game I've played. I've never come close to beating that thing. And I am playing it correctly. There's only 2 pages of rules, so it's pretty hard to mess up. Next one, B-17, Queen of the Skies, Bart's game. And this is funny. I didn't play it like Bart played it, but that's a game I never have to look at the rules for. I mean, I think I consulted him maybe once because everything's in the charts. The fun thing about this game, I'll take a little longer than fast action, was my crew. My nose gunner was Teddy Roosevelt. Chuck Norris was on the cheat guns. My pilot was George Washington. My co-pilot was Greg Nettles. I was the engineer. I figured I was the most qualified since I am an engineer. My waist gunners were Mark Herman and Curly Howard from the Three Stooges. My tail gunner was my T-Rex because I had this little toy T-Rex in all my pictures, or a lot of my pictures. He was that. Mr. T was the tail gunner, and the Rock was on the radio. So it was very fun when you're rolling the dice for Curly going nurk, 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 nurk. So anyways, I decided to take a really hard mission, flew to St. Nazaire with the rookie crew, called my plane the Legends of Awesome and Judd, and we got it. So anyways, we won that one, so that was a blast. I love playing that game. It's always like a trip down memory lane. The next one I played, 17, Field Commander Alexander. I played the Guatemala campaign, scored 20 victory points, pretty much walked over him. I was hitting the dice. I mean, I crushed Darius on the first turn, and I don't think I lost a guy or took a hit. I was rolling pretty hot that day. 18th, Dawn of the Zeds, the very best of the State of Siege games, the most theme-dripping, awesome box, Ameritrash purity, it's all there, and it's not just pushing the tracks back. I mean, there's options in there where you can try to find the zombie cure, capture the guy who created it, build a big gun, just cool stuff. The National Guard comes in. I played it, I won it, and I butchered the rules. But here's the thing, my friend Aaron was a play tester on it. He taught it to me, and I thought, oh, I remember that game. It was only, what, 3 or 4 years ago? Yeah, it was coming to me a little slower than that. I was doing stuff like having the sheriff activate the wrong people for free actions and shooting guns ranges I didn't have. And I kept thinking, these zombies really aren't threatening me. And then as I figured it out. But hey, if you look at the quick action guide, your guide says, hey, if you screw up rules, don't worry about it. You'll figure it out eventually. So what I really got out of that game was I just want to keep playing it more and more. Just great game. Okay, and another thing, it's the only good zombie game I played. I've played some fair ones. Most of them suck. That's the only really great zombie game out there. Okay, the next one, Lost Cause by Victory Point Games plus the expansion. I got the expansion the previous year at BGG Con, been looking to try it. I lost, my morale drove to 0 in 1865. Wasn't real impressed at all with the expansion. It just created so many cards in 1865, it felt like he's playing 4 years worth of cards. Which, yeah, Lincoln, if get reelected, he was going to go as far as it needed to. But you really have absolutely no prayer of winning that thing if you don't take Lincoln out in the 64 election. So, not real impressed. The base game's awesome. Great game. Okay, 20, Astra Titanus. I played the first scenario in it, won it. I was playing a basic Atlas. It got my first star base, but I had set up real nice, had guys retreat and getting him caught in a nice crossfires every time. And I was having a lot of luck taking his engines out early. I also played at a beginner level where you don't take the full engines on the opponent or the AI in this. I took the middle one, so it made it a little easier to slow him down. But got a kick out of that game. It is a really slick little game. It's way better than Ogre. Number 21, Cruel Necessity Victory Point game. First try through it, I was working on it. Very impressed, really, really cool. Offers a lot of stuff most of your Victory Point game State of Sieges don't have in them. The sieges and things like that. And I had all these tracks going on if you're familiar with the game at all, and I'm grabbing all these cool cards you earn. Wasn't paying attention to the armies too much. I can beat them. I beat all armies in these things. Nope. The main army thrust right down and took over London. I didn't even get through half the deck. I was playing the first scenario, the short one, the beginning. Next one I played, D-Day at Omaha Beach. I won that one, 17 victory points. I only needed 10. I rolled right up the middle, took that main path down the middle. I had everything working right. I was pulling leaders at the right time, and I was bombarding the heck out of those defensive positions and suppressing them. So I've had challenges on that game. That day wasn't one of them. Okay, next one, Barbarossa Campaign, Victory Point Games. Cool game, very unique. I got 4 victory points, which is a decisive victory, but I think with this game it's going to be one you want to play the whole thing, because I wasn't even anywhere near Stalingrad. I was on the outskirts of Moscow, which is where they were, and outside of Leningrad, so I really don't see how this is decisive when I did no better than they did historically. But that's the conditions. What happened was on the last turn I surrounded a whole lot of the Russian army Soviet army, and they all surrendered, and it was around the swamp area, and that pushed my initiative way high and got me a whole bunch of victory points. So I didn't mean to game the system, but it did. Okay, the next one, Don't Tread on Me. I did a review on this game, love it, one of the best solitaire games out there. I played the whole thing. It is a long game. It took me about 4 or 5 hours to play. I had the Liberty marker at 7 in 1782. Lord North was about to fall. I called it, offered them independence, and took the historic victory. That means I still held on to Gibraltar and all my other holdings. The French weren't going to get any, the Bahamas, all that area down there. They weren't going to get any of that stuff. And America got their independence. It was a historic route. I did start off really hot. The shot heard around the world did not go well for the Yankees. and that's really what kept me in the game. Next one was AD-30. I played that on Thanksgiving Thanksgiving Day. Seemed like a rather appropriate theme to play on that. I pulled off the historic victory. I had the piety all the way up to the top. Very cool game. Basically, it's fun. Most of such games on religious topics are either dull or sacrilegious, and this is neither. So really like that game, and it's always been a little fun. Thought it seemed cool on Thanksgiving. 26th one, Peloponnesian War. Mark Herman, the great one. I played the game. I don't know a lot about the topic. I was reading the historic notes in the back of it to get a little more familiar with it before I played it. And I started off doing pretty much what they did. I had like Pericles' plan. I went around and I was choking. I mean, I was raiding the heck out of the Peloponnesian Peninsula. But I'm not even going to try to say it. There's a place under rebellion at the beginning. If I try to say the word, you'll hear my Kansas hick accent in its worst way. I failed to take it, and then Spartans decided to go up to Thrace, and they beat me down. They beat my allies down. They beat me down so hard my big lead evaporated, and then we called a truce based on what it was. And I think it's a three turn scenario, and basically our truce is going to be over in turn 4, so it ended the game early, and I lost most horrifically, -15 VPs. So tough game to win, still fun, and that whole switching thing and all that, it's a very cool game. 27th, Airborne Commander, just shot a review on, I think it's coming out after this. It was my first few times through it, so I was still struggling with the rules. I got beat down pretty good. I was losing on the static defenses. Wasn't sure how to take those out. So if you're on the message board, you see some of my questions, but still had fun with it, but lost brutally. Okay, 28th, Field Commander Napoleon. I took the 1798 scenario where you're facing the Ottomans and you're trying to get Gaza and Acre. I had 24 victory points. That was the historic victory. I was struggling. I thought I was doing great. Then I took a vicious beat down up by Acre. In time I rushed my guys back, I did not have a lot of troops left. I think it's the Ottomans show up and at Alexandria, and I held on and got them. Next one, 29, Chainsaw Warrior. Possibly the coolest name of a game ever. Definitely not a Uragami. The game is darn near impossible to win. I would suspect you'd have to play it 30 times to maybe win one. I mean, it's supposed to be hard. And I was trying something out. I said, instead of rolling all your attributes, I'm going to give myself, say I rolled the maximum dice. So I maxed everything out to see, can you even win it with the maximum of everything? The answer is yeah, I did win it. My Chainsaw Warrior did save New York City. And I killed, I think it's called Darkness, or whoever the bad guy is trying to suck it to another dimension. But I did get hit with the zombie venom, and basically my Chainsaw Warrior got out, but there's no cure. It was going to eventually turn into a zombie, so he killed himself to save the rest of the world. But I did win. The last game I played, I tried to play Ambush. Hey, I played it 4 years ago. This is the problem with this list. These games don't come back to you nearly as quickly as you think. I played it 4 years ago. I opened up the scenario. I point at the board. That's where the first German's going to pop up. There's 2 Germans in this building. I remembered that much detail. Couldn't remember how to play the game too well. As soon as I spotted one and the whole system of timing switches, I was screwed up, and it was getting late. And I was like, man, I wish Bart was here. He'd probably say, well, just do this, and I can go right through it. But I was struggling, so I was like, no. So I pulled out Star Realms instead and played the Nemesis Beast scenario. I was trying to keep it as much as I could to strictly solitaire games. I played the solitaire variant of that, which is something I was trying to avoid, but I needed that 30th game, and Ambush was too much for me. So I played the Nemesis Beast. I got crushed brutally. He still had 28 points of authority when I was dead. But this quick game, played 20 minutes, and so that ended my month. That was the thing I was going to say on these. When you try these games, you had better know these games. These victory point games, Starfleet Battles, yeah, I can do those. Learning new games, not advisable. A game you haven't played, I mean, if you try this, be sure you play all the games before you play the games, and let them come back to you, because they don't come back to you, and you find yourself staying up till 1:30. And like I said, I was exhausted that month. Not something I want to do. Plus, I'm going to PGGCon in the future, so it won't work in November, but it was kind of fun. If I did like half my games, I could do it again, but that was a one-time deal. It was fun to do once, but not going to do that one again, and don't think my wife would let me anyways if I wanted to.
All right, I am back in. Now that is impressive, and I haven't played Ambush in so many years. I actually am going to get it back out on the game table. Probably do a little review of it, and do a little gaming myself, because it's been, man, it might be 10 years since I've played it, I think.
You might be surprised. I mean, like B-17, you'll know it.
Yeah.
But I thought, haven't you played all the scenarios for
Yes.
Ambush? So
Yeah.
you'd be surprised. Like Starfleet Battles, I haven't probably played it in 10 years. Now, I was programming things for it, but I haven't done that for 10 years. I know that game.
Right.
It's just one of those.
There's only one module I haven't played through, and that is I had the Pacific version, Gung Ho, I think, or
Not Leatherneck.
Leatherneck is the expansion. That was the only one
Okay.
I never actually played through. I bought that after. And then I went and bought the Open Fire, which is like the ambush tank version, and I've never played that either.
Two-player version or something.
There is a two-player version called Shell Shock.
Okay, that's it.
So, but Open Fire is tanks, ambush, but with tanks. And the only thing I'd heard in criticism from a real hardcore ambush player was that the ranges everything was a little off, and they couldn't really hit the ranges, because obviously Sherman against the Tiger, really no chance. But again, and this is your list, ambush is movies and comic book military history. It's not real.
What's funny was I had the game in the 80s, and I traded it, and then when I got back into games, I thought that was stupid. So then I got a copy of it around 2000, and then I played it about 4 years ago, and that card it drove me crazy. The card in the book.
Yeah.
I said they need a smartphone app that you just type in the coordinates and it tells you. No, I don't program smartphones.
I know. I've been begging for him to learn how to do that, or
Visual Basic 6. I'm a
If
dinosaur.
somebody knows how to do that out there, let me know, because I would love to see that done. So all right.
So one thing I learned from it was when I did it again, I thought that's why I traded the game. That card just annoys me too much. I was like, it's a design I respect the heck out of, but it just frustrates me to no end to go through that. So,
I wish someone would reprint it with an app. It'd
Yeah.
be perfect.
It would
with an
be.
app. So don't want to hijack your deal. This is your show. Very impressive run through. Your dedication to doing one a day. Very impressive. I would have picked like February, the shortest month of the year. You shaved a few days off or something. But
well, I had a week off of work, and I thought I was going to have a little more, but didn't work out. But check that Geeklist out. I wrote pretty good AARs for each one of them. You can see all my Smart Ellie comments and I had three little guys. It's a Mr. T piggy bank bust, and a the wrestler with a straw out of his head, and then a remote control T-Rex. And I was called in the peanut gallery, and I always make a Smart Elliot comments about my lack of gaming ability.
All right, very impressive. Go check out the Geeklist, and more little board game reviews will be coming from you on this set. So I'll get out of here. See you guys. Vance and Brunsheen, the Chief, bonding with board games.